Before you begin work on your annotated bibliography and proposal, I want to talk to you about what the assignments are for and what they should look like. All of you should be able to write an annotated bibliography and proposal before you embark on 4,000 level work. Some of you may already have done this work. Many, if not most, 3,000 level courses in English require it. But whether you already know what you're doing or not, this activity will help you develop valuable research skills that you will use in other classes and that will translate to research and problem-solving skills that make you a valuable employee after graduation. First, let's talk about the annotated bibliography. You will be producing an annotated bibliography with 5 sources. You may use things we've read together, like Rivers' lecture on shell shock, for 2 of these sources. The other 3 you must find on your own. Every entry in this annotated bibliography will be a secondary source. That is, it will not be a literary text. You can include Elaine Showalter's essay in your annotated bibliography, but not a poem by Owen or Rosenberg or Sassoon. Your entries must all be peer-reviewed articles or book chapters. There is a button in the MLA database that allows you to include only peer-reviewed things. Peer review in this sense means that before an academic journal publishes an essay, it sends the essay to 2 or 3 experts in the field who read it and send the editor a review explaining why the journal should or shouldn't publish the essay. These reviews will articulate what the essay adds to the field of knowledge, how it connects to other scholarship, and all kinds of things to indicate that this article is a carefully crafted work of scholarship that is original and important. There are some kinds of things you might find that you may not use for this assignment. You may not use dissertations or master's theses, book reviews, or articles from the Explicator or College English. If you go outside of the library's databases, you may not have a button to click for peer-reviewed, so you may come up with self-published or non-reviewed articles. You may not use them. Please be very careful if you use resources other than library databases for this assignment. Students who use AI to come up with articles for this assignment usually find that they have a bibliography full of invented articles. AI is not going to look in databases for you, but will just invent some plausible-sounding things. Google and even Google Scholar should also be used with care. I had a student recently who clicked on an article found through Google and infected her computer with malware. Our library is the safest way to protect yourself and your grade. If you decide to use other methods, at least look at the URLs to see if they are hosted on suspect sites in Russia before clicking. I will also tell you that I need to be able to see the articles you find. I may be more wary than you about opening my computer to malevolent actors, so if the link is suspicious, I won't be clicking, and you won't be getting credit for the article. There is a model bibliography entry on Canvas for you to look at. Basically, all 5 of your entries will take the same form: the MLA works cited entry for the article, followed by a paragraph of analysis. Every entry must begin with the words, "This essay argues that," because I want you to focus on the argument, not the topic of the essay. Focusing on the argument will help you to focus on the argument in your own presentation, which the bibliography supports. Since your research presentation will be a work of literary criticism, your articles should support this aim. Choose a topic that you can demonstrate using literary texts. If you're interested in shell shock, remember that a poem by Sassoon cannot prove that modern methods of treating PTSD are better or worse than those used during World War I. The so what of your argument may have something to do with society or culture, but the literary texts you'll be using are not add-ons to an argument about society or culture. They must be at the center of your argument. Thus, your annotated bibliography will probably include multiple works of literary criticism. The research presentation assignment asks you to take up texts by 2 different authors. I, for one, would not attempt an assignment like that without having at least one critical essay about each literary text I was taking up. Now let's talk about your proposal. The proposal is a very short document, no more than 250 words, that describes the argument and the import of the research presentation you plan to do. The focus of the proposal is the argument. What are you going to argue? Why is it important? How will your argument help us to understand the literary works you are using or the culture that produced them? In such a short document, you don't have room to dither around and approach your subject tentatively. You must cut to the chase. Some students find it helpful to start with the thesis as the first sentence in the proposal and then spend the rest of their space showing what that thesis will enable. Others might find it congenial to do this in reverse, to set up the problem they propose to resolve, then end with the thesis as the proposed solution to the problem. Which way you do this doesn't matter much, as long as your reader understands what you propose and is excited to read your work.